We are live. Hey, I'm coming with y'all with this video, man. It's a lot of people that's killing Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's amazing how everyone knows how Russell Westbrook performs and knows his style of play. But since the Lakers are struggling, everybody want to put the blame on Russell Westbrook. No, the blame is on LeBron James and the Laker organization. They did not have to trade for Russell Westbrook. Let me say that again. The Los Angeles Lakers organization and LeBron James, the GM, Rob Pelinka, and LeBron James did not have to trade for Russell Westbrook. They could have got players like DeMar DeRozan, who's playing very well for the Chicago Bulls, and he's playing not just very well, he's playing at an MVP level. It has the Bulls over what I believe 11 by beating Atlanta last night. I think that put the Bulls 11 games over 500. So DeMar DeRozan from Los Angeles wanted to go to Los Angeles. For some reason, did not end up in Los Angeles. The Bulls also have another player that came from the Lakers in Caruso. Very good defender, scrappy player, make things happen. He can score. He can just do everything on the court. Score, rebound, assist. He's one of those ultimate role players that you need on a championship team for if you have championship aspirations. Alex Caruso is that guy. I used to call him the pizza delivery guy. Mess around, call him the pizza delivery guy. But the guy can really play. And the Lakers could have traded for Buddy Hield. Now, people will say, well, Buddy Hield is not really, doing all that well with the Sacramento Kings. Look at the Sacramento Kings record and all that. But it's not what he can do with the Sacramento Kings. It's what he can do alongside of Anthony Davis and LeBron James. He will get the most wide open shots he ever got in his career if he's on the Los Angeles Lakers. Buddy Hield would have plenty of wide open opportunities. And Buddy Hield is a really good three-point shooter. He will be even better with LeBron James and Anthony Davis due to the spacing on the court that he will have. And he's the third option. People are going to be trying to stop Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And Buddy Hield could have benefited from that, that situation in LA. Imagine if the Lakers would have had Buddy Hield and DeMar DeRozan. Now, I know people say, well, that's not going to stop Anthony Davis from being hurt. That's true. But they probably would have been in a better position with Anthony Davis being hurt for these 4 weeks if they had those two guys. And people killing Russell Westbrook. We know how Russell Westbrook plays, man. He's been playing like this his whole career, especially since Kevin Durant left and went to Golden State the first time. He's been playing. We know he's a triple-double waiting to happen. But I told people, even when he was averaging those triple-doubles, don't read into too much of that triple-double stuff. Look at what's going on the court. How is the team functioning? The team in OKC, especially when Kevin Durant left, it was centered too much around Russell Westbrook. Now, yes, your team is going to be centered around your best player, no doubt. LeBron James, the team should be centered around him. People like Kawhi Leonard, people like Durant, people like James Harden when he was in Houston, Devin Booker with Phoenix, Giannis with Milwaukee. Yes, your team should be centered around the best player. There's no doubt about it for your success. But there's a cap on how much the team should be centered around your best player if you want to have championship aspirations or multiple playoff appearances. You have to be able to let other players flourish around your best player, be a complement to your best player to help your best player out, so your best player won't have to go in there night in and night out and have a great game for your team to win. He's going to be great some nights. He's going to be good, really good on some nights. He's going to be good on some nights. But it's a lot to ask him to be great every night. So, but nevertheless, everybody was, hey, Russell Westbrook is doing this, he's doing that. Not looking at that he doesn't understand time of possession. He doesn't understand how to run a team. He doesn't understand, and he turns the ball over too much. You're a point guard. If you want to win at a high level, cannot turn the ball over the way Russell Westbrook turns the ball over. And he doesn't play defense. He has all the attributes to play defense: quickness, long arms, can jump, lateral quickness. He just doesn't play defense that well for some odd reason. I don't know what it is. Defense is largely something that you want to do. It's a want to. It's a hustle in you. It's a hustle that you have in you. Russell Westbrook has the hustle in the offensive end, but he doesn't have the hustle on the defense end. We're not telling him to be a perennial all-time defensive player. Just play defense, man. Just play some comparable defense. He doesn't do that. So when he went to the Lakers, I told people before the season started, it's not going to work. For one, LeBron James needs the ball in his hand. Anthony Davis is the only one that can flourish with the ball or without the ball very well. LeBron James has to have the ball in his hand. I know every year he says he's going to move off the ball. He's not going to move off the ball. If you want the full LeBron James, he has to have the ball in his hand. That's number one. Number two, Russell Westbrook also needs the ball in his hands to be Russell Westbrook. Let's not forget, if Russell Westbrook is not giving you his all on offense, he's not going to give you nothing defensive wise. So if you take the ball out of Russell Westbrook hands and him and LeBron James have to share it, okay, now you're going to get about 40% of Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is not a really good shooter, so he can't play off the ball. He's not going to spot up and hit jump shots. He's not a good three-point shooter. He's not a good mid-range shooter. It's to the cup or dunk. That's it. He's not a good free throw shooter. So if you're not going to let him dominate the ball, he's not going to be effective. Therefore, why you even got him on the team? I even made a claim that maybe Russell Westbrook should come off the bench. Not maybe, he should come off the bench. That way he'll have it's 48 minutes in the game. He'll probably have about close to 20 minutes of playing time on the floor where he's the main ball handler and he can do his thing. But he's not going to come off the bench. And I don't think the Lakers will even approach him with coming off the bench. They probably not going to even do it because he'll be disgruntled and, he might check out mentally. He's already checked out basketball IQ wise because the man is turning the ball over 6-7 times a game. That can't happen. He doesn't do enough to make up for the 7 turnovers. He just doesn't do enough. Now Anthony Davis is hurt. Now you got Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. That's oil and water. Either it should have been the combination works with Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis or LeBron and Anthony Davis. It doesn't work with Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. Any combination of that with them two on the court as your main best players is not going to work. Third of all, Los Angeles Lakers, the players that they are really counting on, they're older. LeBron James, 19th year. Carmelo Anthony, 19th season. You got Rondo, 16th season or 15th season. And you got a lot of players hurt. You got Trevor Ariza in his 19th year, old. Carmelo Anthony does play well some games, and then some games he doesn't. But that's old. That's how you know when you're aged, when you're old. That's a sign of being old. You can't play at a high level for a long period of time. You'll get some high level games, and in there you're gonna get some stinkers. So you're gonna get just as many stinkers as high level games. LeBron James injured a lot. That's a sign of age. And we know street clothes. Anthony Davis is always hurt. It's either his pinky, his little toe, his big toe, his middle finger, his shoulder, his elbow. his neck, his back, his leg, his knee, toothache, nose, ears. Anthony Davis hurts everything, and he misses games for everything. He's hurt again. Chances are Anthony Davis is not going to be healthy for the rest of the year. I believe the Lakers are one game under 500 in the deep West. Now you do have, I think they still have the play-in game, which is stupid. I don't like the play-in game, but I think they still have the play-in game. Will they make the playoffs? They have a good shot at making the playoffs. I got them probably losing in the first round. They just don't. It just doesn't mesh, and they hold on to Trent Horton Tucker like he is the next coming of whatever. He doesn't work in the system because he also needs the ball in his hand to be effective. Go look at the games when LeBron James don't play or Anthony Davis doesn't play. Trent Horton Tucker plays moderately well. He plays well. He needs the ball in his hands. How he's going to have minutes on the court when he's by himself having the ball in his hands when Russell Westbrook and LeBron James is healthy? He doesn't fit. Like I said, I mean, I know he's a clutch client. That has something to do with it. That's fine. He's a clutch client. LeBron James want to keep him around. He's one of LeBron James' clients. We all know LeBron James is funding, and he's clutch client. Clutch client is his. Clutch Sports is his. But nevertheless, I digress from that. That's another video for another day. But like I said, everybody getting on TV, Skip, especially get on TV, show all of Russell Westbrook's turnovers. I'm not surprised I don't know why people are surprised on how Russell Westbrook is performing. This is what he is. He either plays great or he doesn't play great. It's no middle ground with Russell Westbrook. See, the great ones have a middle ground where they can still win in the middle ground when they don't play as great. They're not playing terrible, but they're not playing great. It's somewhere in the middle, and they can still be effective. That's not Russell Westbrook. He cannot be effective if he's not having a great game. You know what I'm saying? Then he gets on TV and have an interview and say people expect him to average 25, 15, and 15. I mean, listen. Stats are great, but the ultimate stat in sports, and I don't want people to lose sight of this. I believe over the last 25, 30 years, we've been losing sight over what really matters, especially in the last 10 years. What really matters is wins and losses. That's all people want to see. That's all people want to know. Did you win? Who won and who lost? Mainly who won. I never hear nobody say, hey, who lost? Who lost the Super Bowl? You hear people say, who won? Who won the Super Bowl? Who won the NBA Finals? Who won the Stanley Cup? Who won the World Series? You know what I'm saying? Who won at Wimbledon? You know what I'm saying? You don't ever hear nobody say, who lost? No. Winning is the only thing that matters when in sports if they keep in score. Winning is the only thing that matters. Stats is just for fans to follow the game. Because in another thing, you have to know the nuances of sports because stats don't tell the whole story. You have to look at the game. If you look at the game, Russell Westbrook had a triple-double. If you just take it on face value, you'd be like, man, he played well. Okay, but he turned the ball over 7, 8, 9 times. I mean, he turned the ball over 7, 8, 9 times. So what? If he had, let's just say he had 12 assists and he turned the ball over 9 times. That's bad. That's terrible. He gave the ball away just as many times as he got assists. You have to watch the game. You have to know the nuance of the game. You just can't look at the box score. If you look at the box score with Russell Westbrook every game, just about, you would say, man, this dude had an awesome game. But if you look at the game and look at the floor of the game and you find out that Russell Westbrook does not command, he's not really a point guard anyway. This is be honest. Russell Westbrook was converted into a point guard in Oklahoma City Thunder. But they never, I don't think they really took the time to give him the nuances. Even though he had Maurice Cheeks on the bench, maybe he didn't listen to Maurice Cheeks a lot. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not in practice. But it seems like they didn't teach him the nuance of being a point guard. Pace of the game, controlling the pace. With Russell Westbrook, everything has to be 100 miles an hour. You can't play at 100 miles an hour every possession. You just can't do it. You have to be able to play with pace. That's a point guard's job. Now understand we have scoring point guards. Over the last 15 years has been scoring point guards like Kyrie, Derrick Rose. You got guys like Russell Westbrook. You got guys like Dame Lillard. So you have these scoring point guards. They still have to understand pace because you have the ball in your hands mostly every possession. So it's incumbent upon you to not turn the ball over at a high clip. When you start getting like 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 turnovers, that's just too much. That is too many turnovers. You have the ball in your hand a lot. Now you're turning the ball over. I mean, you giving it to us on one end, and on the other end you taking it away. It's just the Lakers are just in a bad spot. What can they do? There's not much they can do. Nobody's going to take Russell Westbrook contract. Nobody's going to take Russell Westbrook attitude. Nobody's going to take the way Russell Westbrook plays. Unless at one point I was thinking maybe Orlando might do it, but Orlando got some promising young players in Cole Anthony and Jalen Suggs and Mo Bamba and guys of that nature. So they probably won't even do it. It's a lot of teams that don't want Russell Westbrook. Because I was saying for box office, to sell tickets, somebody will probably take Russell Westbrook, but ain't nobody gonna take Russell Westbrook, man. It's just he's too volatile. He's a liability. The man is and it's crazy how you can say Russell Westbrook is a liability based on the production that he does give you as far as rebounds, points, and assists. But the man is a liability. He got to be the most interesting. He's gonna be the most interesting Hall of Famer I've ever seen in my life. Put up gaudy numbers, but he's a liability at the same time. That's like an oxymoron. He's a liability at the same time that he put up these gaudy numbers. He put up these Wilt Chamberlain like numbers at the point guard position. It's the Lakers are just to me. Look, if I was Jenny Buss, if they don't make the playoffs this year, or they flame out or whatever in the first round, they just need to blow it all up. They need to trade LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. They need to do what Sam Presti did in OKC when he traded Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and got a lot of picks and some young players back. That was what the Lakers got to do. They got a championship out of the deal. They got a bubble championship out of the deal, which I don't count. And I said before they came back, I didn't care who won the championship in the bubble. I'm not counting that shit. That's not a real championship to me. But nevertheless, the Lakers won one. So if I was G Buss, I'd get rid of everybody. LeBron James still got a lot of value now. One thing about LeBron James, he may say he's going to retire if you trade him. He may say that, so you probably can't trade LeBron. But you can trade Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis still got a lot of trade value left. Russell Westbrook don't have a lot of trade value. And that's another thing. As much as he does, much as his numbers look, the man trade value is not that great. Look, man, Russell Westbrook is a weird type of player. But let me know what y'all think, man. I just think LeBron James have to shoulder the blame because he had in his backyard DeMar DeRozan, and he could have traded for Buddy Hield. They could have signed DeMar DeRozan, and they could have traded for Buddy Hield. They didn't want to do it. And I heard that they don't want to let go of Trent Horton Tucker. He doesn't fit in y'all's system. Trent Horton Tucker may be a really good player, but he doesn't fit with the Lakers. And a lot of times it's about fit. He does not fit. Let me say it again. Especially with if Russell Westbrook wasn't there, Trent Hurton Tucker, probably we would probably see it. But he doesn't fit with the current roster. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.